Hey, Shalom Israel. It's been a while since we did a video, and tonight is the new moon. So I thought about jumping on here and sharing a little bit of info because tonight we'll start the 13th month of the Hebrew year. Now, obviously people go, 13th month, I thought there was 12 months in a year, then followed by the first month. And so I want to explain why it's a 13th month and not the first month. So according to Genesis 1:14, it tells us that the lights, and specifically the greater light and lesser light, are for signs, for appointed times, or moedim, for days and for years. So we need to be able to use the sun and the moon in determining the appointed times. As a matter of fact, in Psalm 104, verse 19, it tells us the moon was made for the appointed times, or the moed or moedim. And so it's important that we utilize both of them. So the issue is, the reason why we need a 13th month some years is because the solar cycle, which is 365 approximately, and then the lunar cycle, 354, there's 11-day difference between those two cycles. So every 3 years, you're going to have another month or 33 days that they're going to get out of sync. So in order to fulfill this key passage in Exodus 13 verse 10, where it says you must keep this ordinance in a season from year to year. And when it's talking about keep this ordinance, it's referring, if you read the context, to unleavened bread. Well, unleavened bread happens on the 15th day of the first month, and you need to keep it in its season. So what is it talking about season? It's talking about the season of spring. So we need to be able to sync the solar sign of spring, aka the spring equinox, with the festival unleavened bread. So if unleavened bread is in the winter, it's not being kept in its season from year to year. So in this year, when we look at tonight, when the new moon happens, and if we were to count out, this would be a potential month number 1, but once you count out to the 15th day here, you'll notice that the 15th day will land, but a couple days later, on the 17th day of this month, that you have the spring equinox. So we have part of the potential unleavened bread out of its season. This would disqualify from month 1 because the festival unleavened bread is not being kept in its season from year to year. So this is a really key verse to be able to sync the solar sign with the lunar sign. So we'll need a 13th month. So the following month, most definitely the solar sign would already happen and the festival unleavened bread would be kept in its season from year to year. So there's a lot of other interesting little nuances I'd like to share about this year in the calendar, but we'll share that another time in another video. So tonight, have a happy Rosh Chodesh and happy new moon. And yes, we're getting closer and closer to the spring and Passover, and hopefully you and your family are preparing to keep Yah's feast this year. Shalom.